Welcome to Locker Room Sports Talk.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Locker Room Sports. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out here with me for a few minutes during the day. We are going to talk about some high school rankings. Max Preps has got out some stuff here I thought was interesting, also through AL.com. So we're going to hit on that button first. And also, we got to put out our top 25. And everybody may not agree with it, and that's okay because that's what this is for. Always to make conversation and create just what we do, man. It's locker room sports. I mean, this is what guys do. You sit around the locker room and talk crap about their team and figure out where your team is and talk trash about the other guy that didn't make the list. So let's just jump right into it here. First of all, we will start out with Max Preps here, and this is 4A. And I'll put it up on the screen for everybody to share. We can all look at this together. All right, this is 4A. This is high school football ratings through Max Preps. Number one, of course, you're going to have your state champs last year. It's usually, it's just how they're going to do it. Jackson's going to be one. They got a lot of guys coming back. Jackson 1, Pleasant Grove 2. Podcast listeners, I'm gonna name these out for you and just go down the list here. At 3, you got Cherokee County. West Morgan still hanging around in the top 5 here at 4. Mobile Christian, that's not a new name. Look for them to be good. St. Michael's Catholic, they were really favored a lot last year. Them and Pleasant Grove are always big talk about teams. St. James at 7. Hanley at 8, and just general in that area, in that part of the country, at school, and Coach Strange is not there anymore. And I'm pretty sure he stepped down back, I think, after school got out. Booker T. Washington, it seems like we're always talking about them. We are always talking about Booker T. Washington. Again, Cherokee County, your local team here, up at number 3, and finishing it ranking out in the top 10 is Anniston Bulldogs. Shout out to Coach Jackson over there. Spoke to him a week or two ago. Super nice guy, and he's got the right idea where he wants the kids to be at, and feels like it's really a purpose God's put him there to to help make a difference. And it's a kind of a new thing for him, be head coach there. He's from the western part of Georgia, where he kind of grew up around that area. And I think he was around the Mobile area, coached some high school there and stuff. And he's up here now. So I got to talk to him and go through some of their players, and they're bringing back about everybody. And getting that right out of the top 10, you're going to get Madison Academy. They're usually always in that top 10 region right there where they're at. And then finishing out the rest of them, I'm going to go through these: Tallahassee, Bibb County, Deshler, Brooks at 15. I've seen them play a couple of times. Cherokee County play them. Fairfield 16. W.S. Neal. I remember they had a big-time quarterback, big name, threw for a lot of yards a couple of years ago. They're 18. Central at 19. Aniana rounded out the top 20. Look for them to, after Fluff left, they went through a cycle there of younger players. So, just don't forget about Aniana. And then 21 on down is Opp, Oaks Bluff, Coach Robin Bunch. They're at 22. They did lose some linemen and stuff, but Coach Rob's going to put together a team. Randolph School at 23, and then Strawn at 24, and then Dora right here at 25. So that's pretty interesting, and I wanted to look at that, and we'll kind of work backwards up here around this area and talk about the 3A football here. All right, 3A, so how we got listed here, 3A football for time being. 5's going to be one. They're going to be talked about. It is what it is. 5 Red Devils. I know they didn't have the year that they wanted to have last year, but I promise, as long as Coach B's walking the sidelines there, don't forget about the Red Devils. They were a pretty young team last year, and I'm pretty sure Ryder will be back to be running the ball again. They'll be running that system that they run, the little ugly eagle style offense, what he calls it. You got guards pulling everywhere, sniffers going this way, and the tailback's going to the right, and the ball's going left. And with the court, they're always going to be talked about a lot. Now, T.R. Miller, we watched them play last year. Powerhouse Sports, they're big supporters of them. They really like them a lot, and it's kind of in their area where they cover, like Cherokee County and other schools around here is for us. And they were on a good run last year, and a lot of people feel like they may have got their time cut short. And I wouldn't be surprised at all to see any of these top 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna keep going. A lot of these top 10s are going to be they're playoff teams. T.R. Miller at 2, Trinity Presbyterian. I don't know a lot about them. I've seen a few of their games when they was playing some other team I was keeping up with. Mars Hill. They're going to be. They're always going to be good. Okay, and their coach up there. Their coach up there, and I'm trying to remember his name. Yeah. And I see it, I don't know it. I remember most of them's name, but I can't remember his name. Higgins. Yeah, Darryl. Coach Higgins, as long as he's up there, that Marseille is going to be a tough, head-knocking football team. They're going to be a tough part for that 3A division. That's Coach Higgins and bunch there, number 4. Number 5, Houston Academy. This is 3A stuff. They're kind of newer on the scene, and we did see some from them last year. I would not doubt at all Houston Academy being back in the mix. Lee Scott Academy. These are a private school that moved in to play AHSA that come from the other division, and also the one down under Piedmont there at 8, Glenwood. They're also, I think they were, and I think it was Glenwood and Lee Scott Academy. And we wound up covering Glenwood a little bit, going through some of their players and stuff. And people of those teams, these other teams here, we can't get a lot. This is not college football. We can't get a lot of access to these players. It's not like college where it's just media pouring all over the place to give us news. Please, Lord, somebody at Piedmont, please put stuff on Max Preps. They had Pinto for like 80 yards last year. Please, somebody put Piedmont stats on Max Preps, please. it's great to share. It's great to talk about. And just out local writers here, I mean, Fagan he covers, a lot of Piedmont stuff over there. He's from that area, and we get stuff from him, but that's about it. I hope that we can get somebody on the staff over there for Coach Miller at Piedmont to get on Max Preps every weekend and just, throw up some stats on there. Spend 30 minutes with it. It's great advertising for your school and your players. So Lee Scott Academy at 6, Piedmont at 7. And I think Piedmont's going to be good this year. I do. I mean, I really do. Ryan, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you on here. I think Piedmont's going to be a good football team. Quarterbacks had playing time. You got a lot of linemen coming back and stuff. And, of course, we know Pinto's coming back. He signed to Jacksonville. I think it's going to be a great football game. They're going to host Cherokee County game 1. It's Battle of Highway 9 over there. You just run right down 9, and you run right into the left and right there and go across, and you go in there at Piedmont Field. Field of Champions. I think it's going to be a great game. Glenwood, we talked about them last year. Of course, they're going to be here. Thomasville is just like saying Thomasville's good is like saying Sweetwater's good in 1A. They are always around, always around. And Sylvania, now after Coach Nelson left, they got a new coach. He's from up there, coached up there. I think he went to school there, and y'all can help me if I'm wrong about that. I think he's from there. The new coach up there. No, Van's not there anymore, so that is wrong. He's at, where'd he go, Boaz? Or is Pruitt at Boaz? Ryan, you can tell me. You remember. Van's not there anymore. So you have Sylvania coming in there, rounding out the top 10. This is 3A. Now 11 on down, Montgomery Academy, Geraldine Bulldogs. Coach Michael Geraldine has just really done a great job over there. The kids like him. Knew some parents over there when Carlos played, and it's just the culture's good. They work hard in the weight room, and he's really been a breath of fresh air, I guess you could say, to Geraldine. And I share anything I get from them. I'll share anything from any kids anywhere. I always try to promote any high school I can help somehow. I'll put it up on the page. We went over 5,000 followers on the page back last month sometime, and the page grown like crazy. So other schools, if you are listening from wherever, put it. There's that notes page, locker room notes. I made that page for parents, grandparents, whatever. You got a picture of your son or daughter, you think they're, write something nice about them and say something, put it up on there. I'm all about giving kids advertisement. Bayside Academy coming in at 13. Not a surprise there. They're a good football team. So a lot of these names you're seeing. Gordo at 14. 15 is Alabama Christian Academy. Winfield, they had a good run for a couple of years. Corner, they have come down from 4. I remember Cherokee County playing them. Lauderdale County, I remember seeing them in the bunch there. Southside, Hillcrest at 20. I've seen them play some. Flomington, 22 is Coach Smith over there at Westbrook Christian. They'll be better. Quarterback's back. Got a lot of key pieces. They've really worked into a lot of new stuff this summer that he's Coach Smith gets his hands in there and really gets to sink his nails down into stuff. I promise you that they'll win some more games this year. Dadeville 23, Excel 24, and Randolph County at 25. We're doing 3A here, and we'll work back up here to 2A. And we'll start at the top with 2A. We're just going through Max Preps and how they have some of the classifications worked out here this year. 2A. This will be home to a lot of the schools around here in the county. The Spring Garden and Gills will be 1, and San Roque Cedar Bluff are 2. So, Reeltown, championship contenders, they're going to be 1. Our guy down there that we bring on and talk to, we're going to get him to jump on and talk to us some here probably in a couple of weeks. JB, he's already been busy at work and hadn't been able to put on a lot through the summer. Highland Home, I've seen them play before. We got some big guys. Coosa Christian coming at 3. They've been the hot team, man. They've really just, run through a lot of opponents, and they got a lot of good players there. So it's not a surprise to see them where they are. Cottonwood at 4. And that Tuscaloosa Academy team at 5, I seen them in person play last year. Wow, that quarterback, shout out QB1 at Tuscaloosa Academy. If he's back, I don't know. I can't remember his last name. He had a cool last name, like his name was like Ace Jagger. Rock Stone, something cool. He had a cool name or something. If he's back, look out Tuscaloosa Academy. That'll be good again. Pisgah got a new coach over there. I mean, that area and playing football up there, I've seen them play for years and years, and I'm sure they're going to be about as good as they usually are. I think they got a newer quarterback, but he's played quarterback, so it's not going to be a new position to him. But I think they lost some. I think they lost the big receiver they had last year. And let's see here at 7, Providence Christian. 8, Arrington Sulligent at 9. Vincent at 10, rounding out the 10 there. Now going from 11 down, Clark County, Goshen, Isabella, Lee Verne, which is like Aliceville and Lynette, the next 4, 14, 15, 16. Laverne, Asheville, Lynette. Look out. If you're 2A, you don't want to – they're just constantly a third-round team. I mean, they're just – like, I wonder when the last time these teams did not make a second or third round appearance. That'd probably be more to say when they did make it. When have they not? Because they usually do. 17's Winston County. Kept up with them some last year. Lochapoka at 18. 19's Lexington. Well, I remember running across them a little bit last year. They had some really good players. Southeastern, seen them play. Coach does a good job out there with them. 21 is Pike Liberal Arts. 22, Long. Faultville at 23, and then Horseshoe Bend at 24. What about that? And Lamar County, they've come on here as of more mentionable in the last couple of years. But Horseshoe Bend, okay, we see you on there. Let's see. All right, 1A. And we're just going through. This is from Max Prep. This is not mine. Podcast listeners, I know you can't see it. This is not me, my opinion. I agree with probably a lot of it. It looks pretty accurate. I mean, most time you're going to take your winner to be 1 or 2, the one that played for it or played, semi game, and a lot of these are just sometimes just like it's like picking Alabama to be in the top 5 or 6. I mean, like they're just historically these teams they're. If you keep up high school football that we have for years and years, these are not weird names. It's like okay, number 1 here. For 1A is Leroy. Yeah, I've watched them play. Big up front, fast, quarterback's good. They play hard defense. Coaches them really hard. Seen them play in person. They're big and they're fast, strong. Elba, now their tailback is at Auburn now, okay? But in that area right there, part of the country, shout out people at Elba. It's just like it's way smaller than Center. I don't even know if they have a red light there in town. It's a real country, little small town. I'm sure that they've got another guy coming in behind Alvin. I can't remember. I've seen him run the ball some. He's a little shorter guy. Elba's going to always, for a while now, they're known. You get to play, semi games, and they battled with Maplesville and stuff, and it attracts kids too. You have a player at your school to go to a big school like Auburn, that's going to attract kids to come to. 3, a very, very known name, Maplesville. We battled them a couple years ago. Cedar Bluff did. Wadley at 4, Wilkes, which he's decided he's going to play defensive end. He's going to Auburn. 5, Milry. We've hooked into them before and studied on them, talked about them. Not an uncommon thing to see. The next team at 6, Brantley. Sweetwater at 7, Linden at 8. All 3 of those teams, if you keep up 1A football like we do, because Cedar Bluff's always usually been 1A, those teams, that's just who you're going to play. That's just who you're going to play. North, whoever wins the North, you're going to play Brantley, Sweetwater, and Linden. I mean, though, it's just how it is. Agudaville Academy at 9, Georgiana. Look at Georgiana coming in here at 10. I think they got a new coach a few years ago. What's Ryan said? Thomasville will always be. Yeah, you're right. Like Jackson, they just spit and distance of each other. You're exactly right. Lynn at number 11, just right out of the top 10. Spring Garden Panthers, Coach Ragsdale. um, Spring Garden has been a big staple part of that top 10 for, I don't 10 years. Part of that 1A stuff. I mean, just, most the time they're making second, third round, just normally. I mean, it's not uncommon for them to be, second round team. 13, another known name, a good baseball school too, Hackleburg. Florala at 14, 15, Pickens County. They are considered the gatekeepers of the North for 1A. If you're going to go play state in 1A football, and you're in the north up here, you got to go way down toward the south and to the west, and you're going to have to play Pickens County in a little place called Reform. Been there twice. Not super nice people. They got a concession stand there called The Place, or they did 10 years ago, and they have a big side of ribs they're selling. They got nacho barbecue fries. They even had a little shack with Krispy Kreme. Just great small town feel to it. Real nice young guys. We talked to some of the basketball team when we was there, and that's just where football runs right through there. 16, not a new team to see on there. Meek, it's good to see them back up there kicking around. McKenzie at 17. Look at Valley Head, Coach Hammond coming in there at 18, Valley Head. And I got something else for you here, some positions. That article just come out yesterday. It's just a 1A article, and it shares a few players, and we'll go through a few of them too. Addison at 19, not surprising. Raglan at 20, and we know how that's going to kind of go down over there. I always hated going over there and playing. There was nowhere to dress. We'd have to ride the bus over there dressed or something, or you got off and put your pads on or something. I remember way back, 7th grade or something. Keith at 21, Appalachian, hanging around there at 22. Those last 4 teams, Appalachian, Berry 23, Winterburg 24, and South Lamar 25. All 4 of those teams are good football teams in all their regions. They represent their regions pretty much, if not every year, every other year. Okay. We don't have no 5A stuff around here, but I'll pull them up there and just we'll just roll through it. See, there's Moody at 2, Montgomery Catholic 1, Viger 3, Ramsey 4, Central Clay County 5, Andalusia moved up there 6 there, Charles Henderson 7, UMS right, of course, 8. 9 is Leeds, 10 is Williamson, Gunnersville at 11. I'm just going through some ones. Jacksonville's at 13. A-Rab at 16, okay. Scottsboro 19. Beauregard 21. I think Anniston opens with them, I think. And there's Corner at 23. And Rain. I don't know much about Rain. I just know it's wet. 6A, roll through here. Number 1, Parker, Saraland, Oxford, Clay, Chalkville, Mountain Brooks, Spain Park, Pike Road, Muscle Shoals, Gulf Shores, and yes, quarterback from the Chargers, Phillip Rivers, announced his retirement yesterday, I think. So he's definitely, he's been coaching his son down there. They're at St. Paul Episcopal or something. Benjamin Russell, 13. See, Homewoods. There they are. St. Paul Episcopal at 18. McAdory at 19. I'm just looking for Fort Payne. There you go. Number 22. Okay. And Pinson Valley, 24. And then we'll finish with the few 7A teams. Well, guess who? Number 1, Thompson. No. Central is 2. Auburn High School, 3. Hoover, 4. Hewitt Trussville, 5. Vestavia, 6. Just Hillcrest and Dothans, Baker. Carver, Montgomery, 13. Prattville, 15. I always named the keeper. Bob Jones, big school. We almost moved down there one time when my son was younger. We almost did. And Sparkman finishes up there, 21. Foley, 22. And Huntsville, 24. Look at them getting on the calendar there. Tuscaloosa County. Okay. All right. So there's that. Now, we went over here to crud. I had a good article over here for sports. And y'all still on me? No. Okay. They had a list in here, and I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna pull this up here first. We're fixing to get into this, and there that is. We'll take that down for right now. We'll go right here to share screen. AL.com. Some Alabama practice stuff, but this was. I just had it on here. Golly, I'm so embarrassed. They had a list of Saban picked Texas to play Georgia for the national championship, by the way, if you're interested in that. And this one over here is pretty. For a former NFL star out at CBS ahead of season, here's offense fires up Alabama. Greg McElroy has Auburn on his preseason poll. Some interesting topic there. And I had one for the best defensive lineman or something for high school, AHSAA. Good Lord Almighty. I'm going to have to get plumb out of this and go back. Whoa, right there. Whoa, don't move. Okay, here we go. All right, this was the Alabama's top high school football running backs met by this best running backs, and I love all these ads. Just start destroying the screen. You can't see nothing. Of course, that's Wilkes down there at Wadley, and they're playing Maplesville there to state. He had a great game there. Leading the list, here we go. Of course, Sweetwater, tailback, Blanks, senior at Sweetwater is going to be one of the top 1A backs. And I'm sure they'll probably write some more of these. And I'll shout out to Corey Sheldon, CoreySheldon, Corey Sheldon. He wrote this article. So shout out to him writing this article about 1A running backs. Deion Blanks at Sweetwater, Isaiah Brown Jr. at Linden, McIntosh is Brown, Wadley's. The Buchanan kid, we remember seeing him play last year, is really good. Ethan Carr Jr. So Sweetwater's got 2 top-ranked running backs. Leroy's still got the Collins kid. It's going to be there, be good. Billingsley's got the Cotton kid, and you got a senior kid out of Ider. Zach Curtis, the Ider football program is undergoing transformation under first-year head coach Josh Clements. Senior running back stands out here for the forefront. Curtis has developed into one of the cornerstones of the Hornets football. Tyler Dalton, a shout out to him. And Kimba Pawook, Cherokee County. It's a little small team down south. Another guy at Leroy, the Gills kid, okay. The Green kid at Berry. Oh, and the Hall kid, he's back at Maplesville. He's really good. The Red Devils featured one of the region's most explosive talents last season. They will be happy to have back. Hall showed why he is considered to be one of the area's primary backs, rushing for nearly 700 yards and 8 touchdowns in just 4 games last year. The junior running back was averaging 171 yards per game and 2 touchdowns. So the whole backfield at Sweetwater is on the top list. Okay, that's good to know. So sorry, 1A North, when you go play Sweetwater, good luck. Fruitendale's got a kid. Hackleburg, Ross Hudson, shout out to him. Sawyer Johnson also at Hackleburg. There's another bunch, Tittle, Taylor, and Tyler at Ider. So shout out to them there. The Lynch kid at Wadley, also big-time running back. Another back there at Wadley, shout out to him. The McCray, Nehemiah McCray. There's some video of him I had on the page probably last week. Man, he's an athlete, man. It just says here about his athleticism, his football IQ is real high. McCray's talent hasn't gone. I noticed his next level. He's already received scholarships from Alabama, Georgia, and Troy. So let me just tell you, I put it up last week one day. Dexter Talbert, shout out Dexter. He actually put that up there, and I shared it from him. So remember that name, Nehemiah McCray. McCrary. I seen him play last year. He averaged impressive almost 100 yards a game. He's a force to be reckoned, and you'll see them again. There's another odd one, McHannon. The Miles kid at Georgiana. Barry's got another kid, the Norris one. Pickens County, none. Milry, has a kid, Jaden Racer, and the Simpsons kid at Hackleburg, Addison. It's got a couple of guys on here. Another guy from Cherokee. This is 1A stuff here. Maplesville, the Works kid. Brantley has one too. So that's some of the guys from 1A. And then this here is 2A back. So this was supposed to be some of the list here. We'll go through some of these, and some of these you'll know. God, these ads kill me. Turning backs for 2A. Brantley kid at Washington County, Cottonwood, Tuscaloosa Academy, Chickasaw, All South, Arrington, Laverne, Bayshore Christian, Tuscaloosa Academy, the Johnson kid is senior. He's good. Houston County, KJ May, freshman. His name to keep an eye out for. Cedar Bluffs, the Miller twins. Shout out to the Tigers, Coach Craney Bunch, and their brother, which helps coach. Zay, he was part of a champion state run team and mini playoff teams at Cedar Bluff. The twin freshman running backs here at Cedar Bluff, linebackers, and gained experience as 8th graders last season. Quote unquote, they have grown and matured since last year. They're expected to continue and play full time this year, says Tigers coach Crane. That's not a surprise. I went over there and seen them the other day. Good gravy, man. They're something else, man. They're really fun to watch. They play aggressive, and they are not shy of contact at all. So shout out to the Miller twins. That's Miss Rosie's boys. Sweet girl, went to school with her brother. Reggie and all the bunch over there. Their mom, great people. Super great people. Landon Miller down at Sampson, Houston County. Cedar Bluff. Hey, look at here. Shout out Sam Payne. That would be Russell, a schoolmate of mine. It's her son, Sam. Junior running back and linebacker brings in a maximum effort both sides of the ball. Quote, Sam knows one gear. He does everything at full speed and has his hands as he can go after it and go get it, says Tigers coach Crane. If we had 11 young men with his motor, then we would have a ton of success. Shout out Sam. And see, Vincent, Reeltown, the Roberts kid. We talked about him last year. Roberts returns to the Rebels, starting running back and rushing for more than 1,500 yards as a sophomore. He is good. He also, pretty sure JB said that he has baseball offers too. Kid from Blackshire, Pleasant Valley. Shout out over there. John Sparks, senior tailback over there, has earned first team All-State honors as an athlete and last year, helping Raiders to get to playoff appearance. 8-3 overall record. Be versatile running back and strong safety makes him one of the classification's most complete players. Okay. The Terry kid, very good. Super athlete over at Coosa Christian. 12 touchdowns last season. Helped lead them to 1A runner-up in 23 and semifinal in 22. Combination of speed and power. Caden Tracy. Shout out his parents, know them too, Cedar Bluff. Tracy is developing to the Tigers' lead running back and excels at strong safety. His toughness really sets him aside. He turns around and leads us on defense and tackles too. Quote says that he's a hybrid player that plays in the box and rolls back to safety if needed. We expect a promising senior year for Caden Tracy over at Cedar Bluff. Caden Tracy, Southeastern, Greene County, Calhoun, Geneva, Horseshoe Bend. Okay. And let's see. Top 2A quarterback. You can find all this on AL.com. And shout out Corey Sheldon. I've read some of his stuff for you. Yes, he does a good job because there's just not a lot of coverage. And if you want to know this stuff, you kind of have to dig around for it. I mean, you can't just like go right straight on the page and go right to these articles. You kind of have to look around. Yeah, you just go on their Facebook and give them a thumbs up and like the page. Last time I did this and give a shout out to somebody I got information from, they got mad at me and said I better not ever come back on their page again, and they'll get me for copyright stuff because, and little do they know, I guess they don't understand how law works. Section 118-A, where you can read stuff of other people's because I'm not claiming it to be mine. and I'm actually giving credit to the person writing it and actually saying, go find these people and give them some love. I'm not writing it, I'm not claiming to be. I just told you who it was. And the last time I did this with other website, I did exactly the same thing. And the clown had some kind of spark to come at me and act like I did something bad. I'll get you for copyright. And I was like, go away. Shut up. You're not going to do nothing. I actually give you credit. And we have way, way more people following than this other guy did. Way more people. And it's just a little silly for grown people to act like I'm giving you some actual attention and sending people to your page to find information. And then you come at me like that. He's a fool. All right, so leading in here at quarterbacks 2A, Pike Liberal, Abbeville, Cold Springs, Susan Moore's, West End, Jackson Hamby, Houston County, More Jackson Sr., Mims, Lance Mims. Where do I know that name from at Venice? Primary wide receiver Mims started 3 games at quarterback, and then the starter was out. He also started at center field and catcher for them. Also, Tuscaloosa Academy. That Norris kid, I remember talking about him last year. He's good. He's a good football player. That's a picture of him right there. I seen them play okay, wait a minute. He's back. Oh, crap. This is the one I just told you about. So I seen them play. If he's back, the ball comes off his hands like, I guess for you old Tide fans, like who was the quarterback in the late 90s? Andrew Zhao. If any old fans about my age, 40 or 50, if you remember Andrew Zhao and how fast the ball come off his hands, I promise you, the first time I seen this kid throw a football, the first thing I thought of was Andrew Zhao. I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's Andrew Zhao. I'm saying the way the ball come off his hand when he released it, this kid here can throw the football. Say QBs, give me his stats on here. Always keeps the defense on their toes. Yeah, that's for sure. Mark is projected to have a breakout season this year for his team as the starting quarterback. Let's see. Run a 4.6. Was this the same kid last year? Nice. Coach Wright said the teammate's senior linebacker, Aston Poe, added. Mark is a tall quarterback. Commands offense able to fit balls into tight windows. I can't remember. I seem like it is. Calhoun. Got a Sellers kid at Calhoun. These are quarterbacks for 2A. Real Town's quarterback Smith. Laverne. Got a Smith guy too. Selleget area. Decatur Heritage. Got a new coach. Venison. QB. Senior quarterback. Going to be high enthusiasm, they say. Blackshear. I've seen Blackshear on here a lot. So, hey, look out for Blackshear. They got some dudes running around. School football. We did that one. So, just make sure we didn't miss nothing. Okay. All right. So that's kind of some local stuff, and you can find that and go through and click and read more about it. Go to AO.com. Corey is a writer over there on the page. Does a good job. So shout out to him, making sure I say this so nobody comes and says, that's copyright infringement. You can't put my stuff up on the screen and talk about it and react to it. Yeah, you can, fool. Some people say some stuff. Why would you say that? I'm trying to just give shout outs to people and they still gripe. I think he's just old and senile. So a lot of promise there. A lot of shout outs there from Small, and I'm sure there's some 3A and 4A stuff on there that Corey's put out in his writings, and I'd like to go back and find them, and I'll dig into them. Maybe it'll come on Thursday. I'll try to find them. I looked a while ago, and I spent about 20 minutes trying to find some other they had like the 1A and 2A stuff, but I didn't see nothing 3 or 4A. And maybe he's going to do those, maybe he's working his way up to, because these just come out like yesterday and the day before. Hey, Miss Pam, how you doing? So that was some of the rankings from 1 through 7A, and you can go on Max Preps, and it's a little aggravating to find Did I leave it up there? I'll give you the website, how to get over there to it. I did not. Sorry. But yeah, you can go to Max Preps and you got to kind of fool around with it a little bit and type in just the right thing, and it'll give there'll be a column you can pick year and what sport, and you pick the classification. Just go 1 or 2A and look at all the schools around here. But it's mostly kind of what you would think. For the 1A stuff, Spring Garden was, what was they, 11 or 12 on there. Cherokee County was 3. So for the most part, that was, the guys around here. Valley Head was ranked on there. I didn't see Collinsville on there. Did we see Collinsville on there? They should have been on there. I think Coach Willie Ernie, he's going to have I think Collinsville's going to have they're going to have some different players this year. Still young in some spots because that group's been together. Jeremiah and all that group and his grandson, they've been together forever, played everything. So you can go find that on your own, and give me a shout out on the page over there and share some stuff and whatnot. And we'll talk about it over there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're watching over there on the old YouTube, hit the subscribe button. It don't cost anything. It helps us grow the channel. And we have a lot of people in there watching. I have, 100 people watching, but I may only get like 5 thumbs up. It's so easy just to hit the thumbs up. It really is. So that was kind of the high school football break. We will talk about now. We're going to get into the college stuff. Top 25 list for college material. I think we should talk about that. Again, I do appreciate it. Thank everybody for coming by. Let's roll through the comment sections before we get too far over here. Jeff he's going crazy over here. Jeff says that Texas has a better chance in appearing in the national championship game this year with Arch. He's got a strong arm. And the locker room, the trustees, they trust him. The defense has filled in holes. Notre Dame does have a lot of questions concerning their quarterback play. And the running back love, and the defense has a lot of holes to fill. Penn State is a choice for number 1 by a lot of people. They got a lot of guys back, and Coach Franklin's won over 100 games there, by the way, too. He's like a 101 and 40. Bama has the potential, they do, to be a top 5. Their defense will be good. Quarterback can just hand off the ball, make good decisions. Offense should be better without Milroe, and it just will be. Ryan Thomasville is always there. Yep. And the Miami will be like Carson's Lambeau during the day, and the night it may sputter, but he'll have better success on the Miracle Mile. Yeah, that's what I brought up the other day. So college rankings, top 25, the coaches poll come out yesterday. And Sunday we did our Heisman hopeful list, and I didn't even really put him on the list, but I had to I had to put his name out there. Carson Beck. Will he be better in the Miami offense? Yeah, I mean, I just don't like Bobo. I don't trust him. I don't. I trust him about like I trust Texas or Notre Dame. Penn State, I had such grief to even make this top 25 list. But, could Beck be a contender? Could he be more fruitful? Could he be more fruitful in that offense at Miami? We're going to find out. So let's start down here at the bottom of the list, all right? Facebook listeners, hit the little stars down there. It says send stars. You can hit that star. It'll pull up, says send gift. It says on the right end there, it says 100 stars. That's $1. And then go on and so forth. Like $10 would be 10,000 stars or whatnot. You can send rocket ship stuff. You can add a comment stuff, and it'll post it right here on the page. It's just something fun to do, and it just shows throw a little love our way. We do appreciate it. So starting down there at the old bottom there, college football coaches poll. This is mine. If you read down there in the far left corner, if you can see with yellow glasses on there, it says this poll is absolutely useless. So I wanted to say that first. Guys, it's freaking August. Yeah, we got football this month. We have no clue about some of these teams. We ain't got no idea. We're just guessing. This is a mere guess based off a little bit of last year and then what we've seen in the spring and the summer, a little bit of expectations of kind of guessing and knowing the programs. And some of it's just gut feeling how you feel about football. And I've been watching for 40 years. I have a pretty good guess about most of it. So starting at the bottom, Boise State at 25. You kind of just got to put somebody in there. They're going to be without a lot of guys this year. I honestly don't look for Boise to bounce in the top 20. I think they're going to hang around down there in that bottom 19 or 20 area probably through the year. BYU, I could have had them a good bit higher, probably 17 or 18. But it's their quarterback dunked out on them. Now, Georgia Tech, now, if you watched so on Sunday, we did our Heisman hopefuls. Then we went also through some sleepy Heisman picks and some sleepy team picks. And they're also on this list. And Georgia Tech is one of those teams now. They got their quarterback to be back, and coach has been there a while now. He's done a good job. They've got some pretty good recruits in there. Georgia Tech's always got good linemen. So Georgia Tech at 23. 22, I got SMU, though, running ponies. They're going to have a lot of key pieces of some of their offense back. They'll fiddle around there, and I don't know if they'll be quite as good as last year because they're not going to really sneak up on anybody. Michigan at 21. I don't know if they'll even be ranked later, man. There's a lot of crap going on at Michigan right now. There's some more stuff going on and coming out with that team up north may be removed from the list due to possibly, I know. Central Michigan stuff's going on with Michigan. There's a bunch. They had a bunch of allegedly just dirty trick paying off stuff, just a lot of crap. Texas Tech, they've bought some good players. Them being at 20 is not unfair. I don't think it's unrealistic. I had Florida at like 20, I think, and I think I swapped them. Texas Tech and Florida. Look, Billy the Kid he's like 19 and for 19 wins, 19 losses. They're going to run him off, man. And the only reason they didn't last year, they come on there toward the end of the season. DJ come in and saved their butt. But they probably could have won another. Lagway got hurt during the Georgia game, I think. So tell me in the comments. I can't remember. So their schedule's just tough as it always is. They're always going to play Georgia. They're usually always going to play Tennessee too. It's not going to be a real easy schedule for them. They're like top 2 or 3 hardest schedules. If he can win 8 games again, they're going to keep him around. I like the darn old guy. I do. I think he does pretty good for what he's got, man. You're talking about trying to rebuild these programs. And at 18, I got Tennessee. Even losing their quarterback, that old boy that come from UCLA, he's not a slouch. But he's never played against, man. And these guys that you're going to see, however you want to cut it, the most NFL talent is, besides Ohio State, it's just SEC teams. It just is. Urban got all that started up there. He made Ohio State like the SEC, and that's what cultivated them into getting into the modern day times of winning. And it's going to be very different to him when he comes out here and starts slinging the football around, and he's playing these SEC defenses. Alabama, they're going to be top 5 defense or 4 in the nation. They got freaking 4 or 5 stars. They got 5 stars backing up a 5-star. They're really good. They're going to be really good up front on defense stuff too. So I don't know how that's going to turn out with Tennessee. Time's going to tell. And again, I'll refer you to the bottom left corner of the list. This poll is absolutely useless. It just is. I mean, we're just talking and trying to get a general idea. And my poll resembles theirs a little bit. They did have Indiana on here. I'm not putting them on here. They're just absolutely ridiculous to even claim them as a college football team. I don't care what games they didn't play a team and ranked with a top 100 defense in a polls last year. So Kansas State now, and we talked about their quarterback, and they're going to have a good tailback this year. Dean broke them down, talked about them the other night, 17 for them. I liked Ole Miss here at 16. I had them like at 14 or 13, but, I did them a couple of weeks ago. God, they lost a lot of players, man. Their defense is just riddled with holes. I'm just not confident very much at all in Ole Miss and their defense. But quarterback Homeboy's good, man. He beat Georgia pretty much. Now Dart come back in the game, but he come out and handled business. A&M at 15. Look, Elko, he's going to get it together. He's a very organized guy. They've recruited well again this year. Don't, mess around with that idea too much. The A&M's not going to be a top 15 team. Now, these other teams, when you start from here, these are kind of teams that you're probably going to see somewhere in this range. It may be up or down a few spots, but I think that from 14 or 15 up, they're going to be in some kind of order, something like this. I got Iowa State at 14. I think their schedule works out good. And they'll probably play Arizona State, I guess, for their title, whatever. And so I like Iowa State. They've always been a team that's just their schedule's good enough, and they're just good enough to get by and win. And they'll lose a game late in the season, or they'll blow one real bad, and it kind of knocks them out. Now, 13, I got South Carolina. I think they're that team right outside the playoff of 12, but they're going to host Alabama. And I think that'll be their opportunity to get in the playoffs. If they can beat Bama, and I think when Bama gets there, I think Bama will be what's up, Miller? Jameson, we just talked about you, buddy. AL.com had you and your brother there at two of the top guys, top dudes over there at Cedar Bluff at AL.com. South Carolina – they are missing some guys on defense. I don't know if they'll be quite as good as they was last year, but I got to give a little bit of faith. Beamer, I like him. He's a little corny. I know he's kind of like Dabo. He just tries to be a part of the kids, and he loves the kids there, and he's trying to be a part of the culture and kind of be a little bit of hip. But he's kind of like the cool dad that wears the really short kind of shorts and the road style hoodies, and he wears the fancy shoes with no socks, and he's like 50, and he wants his son and his friends to like him, but they kind of laugh at him a little bit when he's not. That's just kind of like Beamer and Dabo, great guys. So I kind of just keeping them right outside right now until we see more. I'm waiting to see more. Miami, look, man, it's got to be their time to go, I think. So I did have Beck on a little Heisman watch. I think he's going to flourish better. I think he's really going to blossom over there a little bit more at Miami. I think the system I think he's going to fit better there. Now, I could be completely wrong, and he may be worse over there. I don't think so, but he threw a lot of picks at Georgia. And I think they weren't quite as good as they thought they were going to be. And he got put in some situations where they really had to start throwing the ball a little bit more than they should, and they didn't have a good run game to balance Carson out with, and they just didn't. So I like Miami at 12-11. I got Illinois. Look, man, coach, he's been coaching forever. He's been around and been around. I think it's their year to hang around in there, man. I think they could be this 10, 11, 12 teams, to me, if you're in 15 to 15, 14, 13, they could all shift around. But 10, 11, and 12 are teams to me. Illinois is at 11, and then I got Arizona State at 10. Those are teams we've seen them do it, and I think Arizona State's going to have a lot of those guys back. I know they lost the little Scattaboo guy, but their schedule's not too bad, and the Big 12's not very hard. So I'm telling you, that 10, 11, or 12, they could fool around. They could be one of those teams that only have like 2 losses when we get there close to the end of the year. Okay. Now, breaking into the top 10. Dan Lanning has put together a good recruiting class a few years. The Oregon fan base thinks their NFL drafts that they are super elite and they are flooding the NFL with talent. They're delusional. They've been rained on too much out there and around Alton Stadium, and I think I don't know if they're just eating the shrooms out there in the forest up there in Oregon or what. Their fans are absolutely they argue with me more than Baylor fans about how many guys they put in the NFL. There's not a list. I could tell you the list. They're not even in the top 10 of putting talent in the past 20 years in the NFL. They had like 2 guys go last year. Yeah, okay, good. Welcome to college football. You actually had 2 guys to go in the draft. Welcome to having a relevant football team. Last year, we always give Oregon a pass because they're cool jerseys and everybody likes Coach Lanning, and that's good to say, man. But I don't have to hear a bunch of flip-flam about Oregon. What have they ever they ain't done no more than Arizona State. Oregon did play for it, but they lost. Jack, you're killing my camera, dude. Sorry. I don't want to hear nothing else about Oregon. The fans are insane. They're eating the mushrooms out there in the middle of the wood forest, and they think that because they put 2 guys in the draft, they're world beaters now. Dude, you couldn't even beat Coach DeBoer at Washington. The best class he had was like a 30th ranked recruiting class. He beat Dan twice with a good offensive line and a well-schemed coaching plan with him and Coach Grubb. So that brings me to number 8, LSU. Coach Kelly has decided to come down there and leave Notre Dame, and we can't. It's hard to recruit up here. You gotta be smart, and you got to be able to know what to do. Get players in up here at Notre Dame. It's cold. The weather's not great. So all this is before NIL. So he just leaves Notre Dame, said, you know what, I'm going to go to LSU. It's like walking around picking apples off trees, just picking 4-star here and a 5-star lineman there and a 4-star safety here and a 5-star D-back there. And there's so much talent in Louisiana. So much talent. And then he gets down here. And then we got NIL. He could have stayed at Notre Dame and bought some players like what Notre Dame's doing now and could have been just stayed where he was at. But he come down here and tried to adopt some Bayou language and try to talk country and sound like one of that politician lady. I ain't going to say her name. You sound like an idiot. Don't do that. Just be yourself. Just be yourself, Coach Kelly at LSU. You got players. You don't have to pretend to do nothing. You're going to have dudes just right around there close. Just recruit your area. Number 7, I went back and forth with this one. I went back and forth, put Georgia there. I started with Georgia at 5. And I thought about it a little more because I had Ohio State like at 4 and Texas like at 3. But I got Georgia at 7. I put them behind Bama because – well, they just ain't been able to beat Alabama. I mean, Alabama beats Georgia about like Georgia beats Auburn. It's just been a long time since we've seen it's been a while. It's been a couple of years. Now, Georgia's beat Alabama before, way since the time that Auburn's beat Georgia. So I'm just kind of reluctant a little bit, man, and I give them a little – I didn't want to drop him too far away from 5 because it is Kirby, and he's a good coach, and he's going to have a good defense. They're going to play defense. But I'm still kind of like it's kind of like with Penn State. Where I got the input, man, I was like, like I'm waiting for something great, like it up with Auburn. Like you're just waiting for, you can see it's gonna happen. It's gonna come. You keep thinking that, and then it don't. So Georgia's got to get the run game together. Their offensive line is just not. It's just not been. They lost near the whole offensive line. I know they transferred in some guys that have played lots of snaps, but they ain't been together. But that's kind of the way all college football is now. A lot of it. And that's why I put Bama at 6 ahead of Georgia, because their team has been together. They have played a lot of hundreds and hundreds of snaps together. That offensive line has been together for a while. And not only that, but watching practice this week, Bama's got real good depth at offensive line. They already had a real stallion, a group there. I mean, even some freshman guys, sophomore guys. So I got Bama at 6. Ohio State coming in to start the top 5. You got to give – I mean, they're the champs. And most of the time, they should probably – I had them 1 on my other list. But going through and just look, they lost a lot of pieces. Okay, they did. And Smith is great. He's probably – I'm just about sure, not unless something catastrophic happens, he'll get invited. Talking about the wide receiver at Ohio State. He'll be invited to New York. Okay, he's going to come to New York. He's a generational. He was like the number 1 receiver in the nation. So I had to put them at 5, just trying to make some kind of sense. I really almost put Texas at 5 and put Ohio State at 4. I am not sold on my number 4 team. I just ain't. They're in that kind of category of where I just see Texas as about like the other top 4. Well, they keep getting close, but they can't. So I got Texas at 4. Everybody's done a spot on Texas. Everybody has talked about them and I'm not even going to talk about them. I just put them at 4. If we had a 4-team playoff, yeah, we'll stick them in there and see what happens. If 4 plays 2 and 3 plays 1, we'd find out real quick. So I got Texas at 4. Dabo Swinney, the Fighting Sweeneys up there. Death Valley, number 2. Because the real Death Valley is LSU. I don't care what nobody says. You ain't going to tell me that Death Valley is Clemson. I just ain't going to hear that. They've got 80+% of their team back. He's got rings that he's won. He beat the GOAT. Then there's no reason they can't be in everybody's top 4. There's no reason they shouldn't be. Quarterback throw for over 4,000 yards and 37 touchdowns and only 7 picks. I mean, it looks, when you write down, all right, I'm going to bank up a football team and I'm going to make one that, like, we're going to build one for EA Sports. And you're going to build a quarterback and build a roster like Texas has done, spent $40 million. If you're going to go money, then Texas should play Texas Tech for the national championship if we're going to do money. Money don't win it. They're like, just money's taking over football, Matt, and it just sucks. I ain't watching football no more. It's terrible. It's just all about money. No, because if it was, then BYU, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, and would win it every year because they got more money than anybody. So if you want to write down that team, running back, this much experience, so many snaps, line, defensive, secondary, linebackers, quarterback, coach, staff. Dabo's got the trick, man. Those top 4 teams there, the top 4 teams, that's kind of what was in my thought. I think about coaching staff as much as I do players. Jimmy's and Joe's win games, but staff has to develop them and get them all marching in the same direction. And that's kind of where my 4 is. Those staffs have pretty much, mostly all, besides a few here or there, been together. They've been in the mix. They've been in the playoffs. I think Dabo's got a good shot at it as any of these teams do. This dude has been he's been in the fire. They beat the brakes off Alabama. I mean, Alabama has not, I don't think Nick Saban's ever been beat like that. Not while he's been in the SEC. From LSU to Alabama. I mean, the first second play, Tua throws a screen. Homie jumps it over at Clemson and takes it to the house. They had like 700 something, 800 yards of offense on Alabama that night. They beat the tar out of Alabama. Alabama got beat bad. He did it. He's the head coach. Now, Venables calling the defense. He's Oklahoma now. I almost put them at 25. I think they're going to be better because that quarterback, Oklahoma, keep your eyes on him. But I think Clemson belongs on here. I do. And you can tell me in the comments, Matt, you're crazy. You four-eyed geek. What are you talking about? That's fine. The four eyes helps me see a little bit better sometimes. Now, the next two, we've seen the game last year. Penn State should have won the game. The kid threw a bad pass late over the middle. You never throw late over the middle. Never, ever do that. And he did. And it cost them game. They couldn't get the ball back. Coach Franklin's that guy that takes the pretty girl, to the prom, and he gets lucky enough that she'll go with you and stuff, and then have a great time. The cocktail's great. The dipping sauce is good. The bubbling drink's awesome. Got the pretty car, man. You get to borrow a 77 Trans Am to take this girl out to the prom. And you get her to the door and you want to kiss her goodnight. And she don't even hug you. She just pats you on the head and walks in the house. That's how I feel about Penn State. You just get a pat on the head. Well, we're almost there. No, not for you tonight, buddy. So you could have went either way, kind of, sort of. I could have went, to me, 1 through 3. Any of those could be 1. If you'd have put Clemson 1, okay. I'm not putting Texas 1. I don't care how much money they spent. I'm sick of hearing about Arch Manning since he's come out of high school. We've had to hear about how great he was. I watched film through Max Preps, through the apps, and watched him play high school. He played at the way they do their divisions down in Louisiana high school. He played in like AAA Division III or something. So I go find his school. Anybody can do this. This is all free for anybody. Go find Arch's high school and just go to Max Preps and find. It's easy to do this. And then click on his region, see the teams ranked in his region, see how many, go back to the years that he was playing as a starter. I just don't know. I know as much about him as I do Ty Simpson. If I seen Ty Simpson play and he's as good as most people think he is, come out of high school was great. He's smart. He can move around some. If I was more confident, I would have had Bama at 5. I ain't seen him play. I'm just giving Ohio State a little more juice because they did win it. And that could probably be 1. But everybody's got Texas 1. I'm just not doing it. But 1, 2, 3, Penn State, Notre Dame, Clemson. For me, if you took my list and swapped those 3, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I'd be like, okay, you got Notre Dame 1. Penn State, Coach Franklin, we mentioned a while ago, being number 1. Dude, he's won 101 games. He only lost 42. They got to win the Big Ten. And the Oregon Ducks, trash talkers are us that thinks they're elite because they've sent 2 dudes to NFL last year. Oh, we're killing it. Oh, you ain't even in the top 10 for sending talent to NFL. They've never done nothing. What have they ever done at Oregon? I asked that question. That's twice now. Somebody give me a list. I know the James boys that run the ball out there all the way back to Mariota, blah, blah, blah. I don't see the hype in Oregon. DeBoer beat them twice. They should be able to. Oregon should win the Big Ten. Why not? Michigan's going to be out of the way. They're going to fix to maybe get their title stripped. Notre Dame, they're rolling around out there and they're independent, just free balling, hanging out. They claim they're ACC because they are with basketball. Whatever baseball think too. Penn State, you got to get it done. There was a hot seat list, and I pulled it up and read it just a little bit ago, and he's on there. That's about as dumb to me as DeBoer being on. Why? What? Why would DeBoer? He went 9-4 with a jacked up quarterback that was on like his 23rd offensive coordinator. He didn't know. Before Jalen didn't know up from down or red from green. I don't see why Franklin will be on a short list. Why? Why would Franklin be on a short list to be fired? There's no way. There's just no way. So that's my top 25, 1 through 12, Penn State, Notre Dame, Clemson, Texas, Ohio State, Bama 6, Georgia 7, LSU, Oregon, Arizona State 10, Illinois 11, and Miami 12. And sitting right outside is South Carolina. That's my story, and I'm just sticking to it. Now, one last thing. Zach Kerr, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Hello, Sylvia. Hope you're winning big over there. One last thing. Coach Heupel at Tennessee has talked about Boo Carter today. He is at practice. There wasn't pads. Said we'd talk about practice some. He's going to be on kickoffs, and he's going to have to play a little offense because Tennessee is a little banged up. Oh, it's not Miller Lite. It's Liquid Death. I got a comment about that one time. And I've heard this again today. If Auburn don't win about 8 games, they're going to freeze it done. I think his buyout at the end of the year will be, I don't know, $12 million. That's change. They can buy him out quick. Hype, I heard that again today. I've heard it about 3 or 4 times over the past 3. It's like about once a week I hear somebody come around with Heupel to Auburn. Auburn AD or whatever, or their president really likes Josh Heupel at Tennessee. They like how he runs the offense. He's very successful, and we know why the number one reason. The number one reason to get hired at Auburn, there's always the first thing first. What is first thing on the resume? Like Jimmy Fallon does. Beat Alabama. That's all you got. You beat Alabama, you're number. That's your number. You're top on resume at Auburn. That's number one. That's stupid. It should be winning championships. But as of late, I know if you beat Alabama, then you're probably winning a championship. But the Iron Bowl can't be your crux. That just needs to be the next game on the schedule. They like how Heupel has coached the players. They like his offense. Heupel creates good situations for his receivers and how he kind of schemes tight ends to loosen up linebackers and how he throws out of the backfield. Heupel's pretty slick, man. And 2, if Venables don't win about 8 or 9, if they don't win at least 8 games or so, Heupel may be going home to Oklahoma. So it seems like Heupel is the hot name right now that Auburn is high on Heupel because he's beat Alabama. And the way he runs that offense. So I'm just saying, that's just what I've heard that 4 times now over the past 4 or 5 weeks. Okay. Now, lastly, some names at practice this week. The Dre, the tailback at Bama, he's a senior. Got him in from Louisiana. Been very exciting this week at practice. Okay. Keon Keeley was another name at practice, and they had pad practice and stuff. Thanks. Sunday, Monday, yesterday. Very excited about him. Vandermark, one offensive lineman, and also Cam Calhoun plays D-back. He's another name that I heard mentioned. And talking to seeing Grubb on there, you can go find them on like AO.com and stuff. They interview him, and you can see his interview. He's, when asking about through so far, what he's been kind of most impressed with, Coach Grubb said he's been most impressed with the offensive line, which is good news for Alabama fans because it was absolutely crap. Some of that you have to lay on the feet of Pritchett and Booker, our guards and right tackle. However, they moved around some, didn't do a very good job, but Milroe didn't help him at all by how he kept scrambling out of the pocket. It's like the hot route's not open, so he just wants to take off with it. And when he could not step up in the few times he'd step up in the pocket and make a throw, it usually worked out well. But he don't have a good changeup. Jalen's just a fastball pitcher. He just is. That's just what he is. So he was very happy about the offensive line. That's one of the biggest things he had seen through the week. Now, Auburn, the Omar Mabson kid, a tailback, he's the bigger of the group. He's a 215-pounder. It looks like tailback, like thick hips, the calves, like tailback, He's looked good this week because Alston and Cobb are both yellow jerseyed. So he's getting some playing time right now. Alvin from Elba, which talked about them a little bit ago. The style of offense that he played at Elba is very different from what they're playing at Auburn. And for him to just take a wildcat snap and the way things read on like traps or counters and stuff for him is different for him as being a freshman there at Auburn. The plays are different. So Alvin fans, which I am, be patient with him. He's young. Just hang on, man. Everybody has to go through a freshman year of learning the playbook. I think he'll be fine. He'll be good catching balls out of the backfield. He's a maneuverable guy out in open space. So for his tailbacks, Omar's had a good week. Okay. Also, some talk of Malika Autry. And now you got to remember, guys, last year's class, Auburn had about 5 of the top 100 guys in state. They got a lot of good in-state players last year, and this is their second year. They're sophomores. That's going to have playing time under their belt. So that's why people were saying this class should be better, because they did have a good class last year, and a lot of these guys from Sylvester and Anquan and some of those other guys I had their names up there a while ago. Auburn should have a good, they don't have a lot of depth like at D-back spot, and I'm terribly concerned about their linebacker spot, just a lot. So that's some news from practice this week and some guys that have been noticed. And Coach Free says that Jackson's coming along well. He's learning the plays. Everything seems to be going well, because last week when he told me, he told everybody, yeah, we talk about third down situations, and if it's RPO here, he's asking me what to do with the ball. That worries me. When you're fudging the defense for him so he can get more better reps, and he's not sure to do, like if he's still a little confused right now, man, I don't want to hear my quarterback's confused with the playbook right now. And Freeze is honest. And I guess as fans, you could appreciate his honesty. At least you know where you stand. But sometimes you just might not ought to say nothing. Just say, hey, he's coming along. He's good. Like, other day he said, hey, he's doing good. Things are moving along. So anyway, that's about it. Just want to come on here and share some of that. Remember the movie Animal House, Jeff says. It was filmed. Yes, you're right. Filmed at Oregon. NFL Hall of Famers, the players have bought into the system. One thing that surprises a lot of people is Colorado. Yeah. Coach Prime, he's got the robot bladder now. He's going to have to keep outhouses close by, because if he has to go pee, he'll just have to go quick. He ain't going to be able to hold it. I mean, he don't have a big recruiting class, but, sometimes you don't need a big recruiting class. Here's what you got to remember, all right? Remember this. When you're looking at your team for recruiting, guys, you're thinking, well, they're terrible in recruiting right now. And I'm using Auburn because they're the worst recruiting class right now in the SEC. Then we're Mississippi State one. It's not not 85 scholarship players, 105 now. So you can take more players. That really does worry me about Auburn because it's been so bad there so long, man. They could take 20 or 30. They got like 12 guys in this class. They need about 20, even if they're all just 3 or 4 stars. And usually 3-star guys, or sometimes some of those 3-star guys are good players, but they're not 4 stars or so because they hadn't been to a lot of camps because maybe they don't have the money to go to camps, especially if you're getting in-state guys. Here in Alabama, well, it's not a lot of money in a state. It's like, Mississippi is just kind of poor. We're not like Georgia. Georgia's got money. They got lottery money. Alabama don't. And until we do get lottery to where it'll pay the taxes from it could pay a lot into the education fund, it's going to be this way here. And that's never going to happen because the sister-in-law of the guy that votes for it last down there in Mobile, his sister-in-law is over the Mississippi Gambling Board. So thanks for playing politics. It's hurting the future of our kids here in the state. So with Auburn having those classes, and now it's going to be 105, not 85, they need more kids. But like Colorado, Jeff said, he does have an all-star staff. I mean, like every position, some guy that played in the NFL and is in the Hall of Fame. But with the portal now, you still need to finish in the top 20. Golly, they got 12 players. Auburn, y'all need about 20 guys. And then in the portal, some can leave, and then you can add some. They have it's really put them in a bad spot. And I know December's not here yet. It's not here because it's the same time and the same day for everybody. It's not just August the 5th in Auburn. We know December will come all over the world if the Lord don't come first. So the portal is going to be there, and it's going to change things on how you see these recruiting classes. And with them having 105 spots, not 85, you're going to see more classes with this, like USC. I mean, we can look at recruiting. I hadn't really actually looked at it because the portal's closed. 2026 college recruiting rankings. Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah. You got to remember that with having that spot to have more players, well, you're going to see these classes with more overlook. Georgia's got 31. You would never see teams with 31. USC's got 32. And right now their points is 24-7. See, they're averaging 92.2. Bama's got it's Oregon, LSU, Bama are the top 3 in averaging points. But let's look at the number of commits here. Ain't that crazy? Of course, it just clicked right up there as soon as I clicked that. 31. Georgia's got 31. USC's got 32 players. A&M's got 27. Bama's got 21. Bama's got 5 5-stars. Georgia's got 2. Notre Dame's got 26 commits, 3 5-stars. A&M, Texas at number 6 got 3 5-stars. See, Oregon's only got 17 commits, but 5 of them are 5-stars. Their average is a 94.39. LSU's a 93.48 with 18 commits. Ohio State, 21. Tennessee, 22. Michigan, those are the numbers you want to see, 22, 21 for Clemson at ranked 13. Florida State's ranked 14, recruiting with 22. Florida's got 18 commits. They're right in the top 15. He's got 13 four-star players. Penn State. Ole Miss is at 21 with 16. UCLA's even got 23 players. Syracuse has got 28 players, but their average is only 87. And I swear I hadn't looked at this in days. Oklahoma's at 41. Oh, God. Come on down here, Auburn. No, they're not. There ain't no way they could still be 70. Come on. Guys, what the Sam crap's going on down there? Are you joking right now? Auburn at 70. They got 11 come out. I thought they had 12. God. Is there another SEC team under them? Please don't be. God, Missouri, come on. 10 commits. Their overall rank's 88. What's Auburn's overall rank here? They're 89. Guys, if you who's that with a 90? Oh, wait a minute. I thought it said 95. So you can't be way down here. Auburn's at 70. Come on, Missouri. See, Colorado's only got 10 commits. But here's the thing. Number one, they're 80th. Colorado's 80. They don't have to play in the SEC. Okay. So he knows who they're playing. Number two, he got a lot of players last year. A lot of players last year. So Auburn's got 11. Well, let's see how many they had last year. Were they in the 20s last year? Crap. Why? All right, last year's class finished up. Texas 1, Georgia 2, Bama 3. Bama had a 93.4. All right, here's Auburn here. Finished 8th in recruiting, had 26. 1 5-star, 17 4s, 8 3s. They finished with a 91.57. So that's a 92. That's good. I think anything with an 89 or so. South Carolina last year, 88 point. That's an 89. They had 26 players last year. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. I can dig that. Ohio State had a 92 last year. Bama had a 93. So anything above 90, anything 92 and more is really good. You're having a good class. I mean, Auburn had a 92. They're top 10. There was 8 last year. And then this year, you're 70. Guys, they recruited 26 players last year. 26. Auburn had 26 last year. Now, and these commits that we was just talking about, we talked about Anquan. We talked about Crawford's going to be noticed this year. I had Winters on a list. I had Woody on my list. There's Alvin from Elba. Some of these guys I don't. There's a lot of 3-star guys. And of course, Deuce was their big get. Malik Altry. I've been talking about him all summer. I don't know I think I'm the only other person outside of a Locked On Auburn even talking about him. This guy's a football player, man. Malik Altry. Huh. That dude, he was top ranked nationally, number 25 in the nation. He played up here at Opelika. He was number 2 in the state. He's going to be a football player. So that was their class last year. Okay. And they're 70 this year. Now, so here's some guys that Bama picked up last year. They finished 3rd. Of course, Keelan Russell's their big get. And Michael Carroll, he was offensive lineman. He's a lot of praises with him. Dijon Lee, a lot of praises for him I've heard too. Ivan Taylor. Chuck McDonald. He has He looks bigger. I've seen him at practice today too. He's a cornerback. Jackson Lloyd, been looking real good. Seen him today. Derek Meadows, Justin Hill. AK Deer is a man. Where does it have him? It says 6'1". He looks taller than that to me. There's the Pritchett, Waldrop, Micah DuBose. There's another. There's a tackle that we saw today. Big kid, 6'5", 315. I think he's down some. Luke Matt, seen him today. He looks fit. The Sanders guy, 6'1.5". I seen him today. The Bola Steve Mabomba. He's ugly, dude. He's like 6'5", 300 pounds. He's freaking huge. So those are some of the guys that you're going to see this year. You'll start seeing these guys come in and play some. Derek Mattis, Jackson Lloyd, Chuck McDonald, big-time quarterback, played out at Mater D. And then there was the safety, Ivan Taylor. So what I'm going to tell you all this for, because they got more room to have 105 scholarships and they're going to have no more walk-ons instead of having the 85, you're going to see these big classes. And I used Auburn as an example in Missouri. How do you only recruit 11 players? 10? And I know you got to add what you need. And I don't have a list to know exactly what they need, but I'm just telling you, Auburn's been bad so long because Harsin didn't do crap. He didn't recruit the state hardly at all. And I'm just using him as an example. I'm in Missouri. Coach Drink, man, they've been a quality football program. They've been winning 10 games. If you start seeing those classes get down there, bro, you start getting down there in them 30s and 40s in recruiting, when you're on picking up 10, 11 players the next year, yeah, the guys that like Auburn's got this year, sophomores, next year they'll be juniors. So when they play 26 class, that's going to be the freshmen of this year that they're getting. This class has got 10 players in it. 10 guys, they're going to play with them juniors. It's going to be, and then the juniors are going to leave. They're not going to play their senior year of 27. A lot of them's probably going to leave because they just ain't going to hang around, especially those guys that were top recruits in the state. They're probably going to try to go to the draft, or at least try to get a grade and see where they go, even if it's 5th, 6th round. They better get some offensive linemen. So they may be good this year. That's the thing. Auburn's trying to win. They're worrying about winning now. They're trying to win battles. You got to win the war. And the war is to recruit the top 10 every year, stack classes, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It's not like it's some secret. How do you win football games? Lift weights, get the players while they're young, and the middle school, high school all have the same playbook, and the coaches are all on the same level. That's not complicated. That's just how you do it. Ask any high school coach around here, who's the best high school coach around here? Coach Smith or Coach Benefield? Legendary. Go talk to Danny Horn or Curtis or some of those guys down south. You get them when they're young, they learn the playbook, they lift weights, and they stick to the plan across all the coaches. They're all together. And when that class goes away, they're building. They're working these kids. I remember going over at Piedmont playing Pee Wee football when my kid was young. Those little C-team kids are running the same kind of sort of plays that Coach Smith's running because he's out there looking at it, keeping an eye on it. Just he may not be on the field. He's standing there watching it. He talks to the coach. He's involved. Why was Piedmont so successful? Because Steve is involved in their Pee Wee programs. So Auburn, if you want to do better and be better, Missouri, if you want to keep in the winning those 10-win seasons and stacking them, how'd Saban do it? Because you start stacking recruiting classes. It takes Jimmy's and Joe's to win football games, but you still got to have good coaches to put them in the right direction. That's what Saban was. Great talent evaluator. He could look at a kid within 20 seconds. I know exactly where he needs to play. He knows where to put him at. So if Auburn and Missouri, y'all have got to get off the can. Dude, the Big Ten smoking us. Michigan's probably done. Ohio State won it last year. Could they win it this year? They'll be in the playoffs. Their schedule ain't hard. I mean, they're playing Rutgers and Grambling State and South Dakota Running Rabbit College. I mean, all these schedules are, eased out. So if you want to be contenders and you want to play for it, I want the SEC to win. I want all the SEC teams to be top 16. I know it's not going to happen, but that's what we're looking to shoot for. So I went through some recruiting news, and we're talking about practice, and we're seeing some good things at practice. And this is a reckoning. Probably the last time I'm going to do it because we got 25 days. We're fixing to start football. Missouri, Coach Drink, Coach Freeze, 10 players for this class. What are you going to do next year when this class you had that was good, they're going to be sophomores and juniors? Then what are you going to do? Then what? 10. Oh, we're bringing in some guys, It's just, we got some 3 stars, and you don't have the staff to develop a bunch of 3 stars into highly rated playoff contending football. They don't. They just don't. Stop trying to fool yourself. They don't. Can you take 3 stars and turn them into great players? Absolutely. Because usually they're a little PO'd. They got ranked low. And again, I have to say this again. A lot of those 3-star rankings are usually because the kids can't afford to go to camps. They just didn't have exposure. All these, if they don't get seen by Rivals and On 3, shout out Josh Pate, new member of On 3 and Rivals. What? So JD Piccolo over there, the blonde-headed guy that's been doing the show for On 3, I guess I don't know, I guess he'll be helping in the back somewhere. Josh Pate, college football show. He's now On 3. He ain't CBS Sports. I had to fit that in there. So we got to do better. Come on, Missouri. Come on, Auburn. 10 players. Are you kidding me? So next year when you show up to spring, and I know December, I don't need to hear December's not here yet. Do better. The people are so far ahead. Alabama and Georgia and Ole Miss, even Kentucky. Florida's up there. These guys got 20 players. You need that 20. Bring in 20 guys, and then in the spring, the portal opens back up in December. Bring in a big class, and then if someone want to leave, let them leave after the SEC championship game time's up. Because I think Bama's probably going to play Texas for the ACC, just to be honest with you. And I think the board beat Sark again, if I'm just be honest with you. That's just my opinion. But SEC's got to win it. We got to get guys. We got to have at least 6 teams in this 12-team playoff. We do. Got to have them. And I want them there next year. I want Auburn to do better. Missouri do better. Just better recruiting classes. We got to stop Jeff and his Ohio State Buckeyes. They're going to try to get on the run again. Coach Day's a good coach. Jeff don't think so. We're going to find out how good they are without O'Kelly. He's at the Raiders. Right there calling plays now. Who they got now? The Hartline guy? Brad Hartline. Played there. All-American at Ohio State. That may be a difference there at the old Buckeyes. Could be a lot of difference. Top 25 list again. Penn State, Notre Dame, Clemson, Texas. Bama at 6, Georgia at 7, LSU at 8, Oregon at 9, Arizona State 10, Illinois 11, Miami at 12, and right outside is the little old Gamecocks of South Carolina. Iowa State 14, A&M 15, Ole Miss 16, K-State, Tennessee, the Gators coming on in the top 20 up here. The Red Raiders at 20, The Little Boy Blues of Michigan at 21, the Running Ponies at 22 of SMU, the Rambling Wreck at 23, the Altar Boys at 24, and the Blue Turf Smurfs at 25, Boise State, where the Statue of Liberty play in 2003, 4, 5. I can't remember. Maybe been 2005 or 6. Fiesta Bowl, and they beat Oklahoma. Little Statue of Liberty play. So that's my top 25. That's news around high school football rankings. You can go back to the show and rewind it when it goes off. And I'll try to line up the times on the YouTube one if you watch it over there. And it'll say when high school stops and the college stuff starts. And a lot of shout-outs in there, yeah. Zach, 07, that's when say 3, 4, 5, 6. God, was he 4? I tried to do things when my son was born. Did I attend the no. Burge was supposed to be, I talked to him earlier, supposed to be going or something. And we still got a show to do too, guys. High school stuff, Border Wars. Like Gainesville's playing, is it Gainesville's playing Thompson or something? I know week 1, 2, Jackson's playing Saraland. Oof. Too much some talent running around out there. A lot of talent running around. So me and Burge was going to try to get together, and Georgia teams coming over and playing some Alabama teams. They usually don't work out for us, man. Georgia's just too big, man. They're 4A schools, or they're 3 or 4A schools, or like Thompson and Auburn over here. I mean, like Georgia 1A schools look like Turkey County. They just do. It's just big. They got that lotto money. We're just not never going to get that lotto here. It's too much crookedness, too much lying and backstabbing and side-eyeing and backdoor deals to keep it out of here. And people, we need it, man. And I don't care about playing it or nothing, but it's still the money from it just helps. You can see the difference, man. I mean, we already been beat. I mean, Atlanta was pretty much the capital of the South. We're talking about Civil War times, 1865 and 66. And back a little before that, 15 years before, like Tuscaloosa was the capital of Alabama. That's why the college wound up being there in 1830-something or whatever. Because of the population. And Auburn was Men's Methodist College. They just had like it's history lesson time, boys and girls. Settle on in here with Big Matt. No, I'm just kidding, but it's just some history about the state and our lottery and why it could really make a difference here for high school football and stuff. And it just would. It's just money that would make a lot of difference, man. I mean, when we could allocate money to different things that would help the schools. But it's not going to happen, so I'm going to quit talking about it. Then when NIL comes, because it's already come to Georgia, Florida's got it, Tennessee's has it or fixing to be doing it, Mississippi too, Kentucky. Ain't heard nothing from Alabama. You'll see high school football in Alabama do this. Down. It'll take 5 or 10 years. And within 10 years' time, it'll just be all 3 stars. We'll be lucky to have a kid ranked in the top 200 in the state. They're not going to stay. Why would they? They can go next door, and for these big 7A programs, 6A schools, they'll go next door to Tennessee or Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi. They'll run back and forth up Tennessee, Florida, Georgia. And they'll get paid. If a kid can go make $5,000 a month to play somewhere, that's what they're going to do. The lottery will help to concede some of that because we'll have some kind of funding to help that. And it's a big mess. And I don't like it, man. It's bull. You don't pay kids to play football. I'm with you. I'm almost 50. I don't like it. I think it's crap. It's terrible. It takes away from the fun of the game, and it turns kids into being semi-pros when they're 15. You're talking about a 15-year-old kid. You're going to talk about paying him $1,000 a week. that grew up like I did over here on Cornwall Avenue and Cedar Bluff, they didn't have nothing. They were nobody had nothing over there. You can't go over and start paying kids. We grew up in just regular old people. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to make terrible decisions with it. I don't like it at all. None. Because there's no advisors. That's the problem. There's no real agents for these kids. You know how many agents are listed? I think Siski talked about this the other day. Shout out Siski. He's from over there at Anniston area. It was like every kid had like available to have like 100 agents. It's crazy. That was for college. There's like 10,000 agents. It's just ridiculous. The people out there, they're trying to make money off the backs of these kids. And then you got some uncle or aunt or somebody that says they know what's best, and then you got an agent involved. And then the parents is backdooring the agent going to the coach. We're just talking about the evolution of high school football. And in this state where we're at with no lottery, it hurts. I think it would help if we had a little bit of lottery money. I just do. I don't like it. I didn't say I liked it. Well, you're going along with it, Matt. You just say you need to pay them. I don't care if the kids make. I think it's great that a kid can get out of a terrible situation. Are you kidding me? Friends, family that I grew up with that I saw that struggled, I didn't really. I mean, we wasn't poor. We just about like everybody else, just regular people. But I've seen some bad stuff, some families, and how they had to grow up. And we didn't think it was bad at the time. It's just how it was. You just, the front and the back door was open. There was a fan in the back hallway in the back door. And that's just how you code the trailer. I mean, we didn't think, I ain't going over there. He's poor. Never. I never thinking that. We got him on bike and I went to my buddy's house and we played football or something out in the yard or whatever. Because they're your buddies. And it could have changed their life, man. It could have made and their poor mama, I ain't saying who it was because it don't matter. She was working 2 jobs. We already seen her. But she took care of them 2 boys and gave them, they never had dirty clothes. If they could have got, because one of the brothers was a really good athlete. If he just could have got $1,000 a week, oh man, it'd have changed their life. They could have got a house. I'm for it. But it's how we're doing it. There's no regulations to it. You can't just hand a check to a kid or his drunk uncle or bad granddaddy that's, says I'm taking care of him. I've been raising the boy since he's little. His mama ain't no good and his daddy's gone. Dad, whatever the situation is. We're going to get so far behind this state. It really worries me. It's coming. I've seen it a little bit already in the state NIL stuff, like, players kind of advertising for places. And they can't really do it now because it's really not legal, but I'm not stupid. And if they're helping the kid buy groceries, I ain't saying, I ain't, because kids need help, man. If God blessed this family with the money and he's helping the kid with groceries or clothes for school, I have to. I'd do it too. If I had it to give, I'll give it. I have. And they could use it to say, well, he's a football player and you can't actually do that by the laws of the state. That's stupid. I'm going to feed a kid if they're hungry. If they got busted, blowed up shoes and I could give them some shoes, well, if he gets the shoes then he could be kicked off the team and forfeit games. And that's so stupid. What are we really doing? But it's okay that this business and company is going to pay them a bunch of money and give it to the wrong people and could ruin the kid's life. I don't like it, man. I just don't. You can't pay people for doing something that they ain't done yet. You didn't get paid for mowing the grass till you mow the yard. After you mowed it, then you got paid for it. It's work, man. I love our state. I love our county. That's why I started doing what we're doing. We love to talk college football, and we go to local games around here and brag on some of the kids and give them player of the week or player of the year. I've took millions of pictures and done thousands of videos, and nobody else is doing it just to do it. I enjoy doing it. I didn't ask for nothing in return because I just wanted to do it instead of being griping about it. And I'm just rather walk it like you talk it. Just go do it. And now there's a lot of people out there doing it. I love it. I think it's great. Every school now's got somebody taking pictures or doing video stuff. I think it's great. It ain't hurt my feelings. The whole point was to get them attention. It ain't about me. So this state is in such a conundrum about where we are with this NIL. It's coming. You think college is a mess. Well, you start messing with 14, 15-year-old kid and talking about playing football. That's like that kid at Maplesville, McCrary kid. What did he say? He was a sophomore this year. He's a freshman last year, maybe. He's going to be good. I'm telling you, I can look at the kid play last year. His athletic ability is through the roof. I'm just using him as an example. It's just the first one I thought of. If NIL was already here, and it's it could put a kid in a bad situation to have him make a decision at a young age that they shouldn't have to make. That's why we adults tell you not to grow up too fast. You start making them big boy decisions when you're young, you're not mentally mature. You're not ready for it yet. You're not there. So those are things we're going to have to talk about. And it's going to affect college football in our state. Now, Bama recruits a lot out of state. They got several guys in state this year. But they still have a big connection with California. They get some guys out of Georgia, Louisiana. But smaller schools in the state, like South Alabama, and they want to try to keep home body guys around. What's going to be here? Guys, y'all tell me. What's going to be around? In 10 years, in 2035, all the surrounding states have voted in NIL for high school. What do you think is going to happen here? Let's just use some common sense. Just think about it. Don't even think about it football-wise. Just think about it business-wise. What do you think is going to happen? They're not going to hang around. All that stuff of playing for pride of your school and that stuff's kind of going away, man. Ain't much of that left. Ain't much people playing for pride in their school. So it's going to affect the universities here in the state. So it seems to me like the bigwigs at Bama's and Auburn would make some kind of difference. We'll be able to point something out somehow so we could, maybe get the lottery here. It just helps, man. Look at Georgia, how much difference it makes. You have kids go to college for free on grants that the taxes make, the tax money they make off lottery. There's people giving their own money. Ain't nobody holding them up, telling them you better go buy a lottery ticket. It's their own money. They work for it. I'm just saying. It's going to change. What's going on, Miss Coach? Good to see y'all. Just talking about kids around here. We're worrying about them. I'll be praying for all of them around the state. And in the next 10 years, this high school football is going to be very different. And poor coaches, oh, gosh. It's already tough, man. Especially right around here, man. These coaches around here don't make no bunch of money. Not right around here, they don't. There ain't no big supplements coming in. Bigger cities and stuff, sure there is. And then colleges have general managers now. Like Courtney Morgan's the manager. He worked at Wall Street. That's the general manager at Alabama. Courtney Morgan worked for Wall Street. He's got a degree in business. That's what we have to have now at college. Some colleges, I think Ole Miss, Lane has two. He has two guys that do that. Yeah. Ooh, we got sure is enough. I put that picture up. Jeff talking about the University of Beaufort. If you don't know, just look it up, Beaufort High School. It'll come right up. Because they're investing in their community and their money and the tax dollars and stuff they get from lottery money and from school allocations and city schools to what they can have and how they're fixing their money. They're taking care of what's taking care of them. football is money. If you don't even like football, I've heard a guy talk about it. He didn't even like football, and he was from Atlanta area. It's business because it is money. You can build a nice school. You can try to do whatever. You got to get the coaches. You get an elite coach name, he'll bring the kids. He'll bring the players. You get some shady coach, they're going to run. They ain't coming. You bring in Gainesville. Coach Niblett, come over Gainesville, winners. Why? Because he's a winner. He's one. I'm just using him because it's the first name I thought of, just going over at Georgia Line there. Because he won a lot of football games over here. So he's going to attract kids. And guess what? He's winning over there. So they invest money back into the school. Got nice field, got nice equipment, nice weight room. We don't have a lot of that here. I would just be curious to see how some of the lower school in Georgia, and Todd could tell me if I'm wrong or right. He coaches over there. There's some very rural schools here in Alabama. Very. You talking about 1A schools? Their weight room, and they're doing the best they can. And their freaking kids work just as hard as they do at Thompson, if not harder, maybe. It ain't the kids or their heart. It's just their facilities. It ain't even close. I can't imagine a super rural school. We was talking about earlier, a guy went through Elba down there where Alvin played at. That place, they ain't a whole lot of nothing down there. They ain't a lot of stuff down there, man. Just not. So we got into talking about just lottery stuff and Needens and how high school football is playing out, how Auburn and Missouri not recruiting well, how that's going to turn out for even more for the future, and to have only 10 kids in a recruiting class. Where does that come from? Well, most of the better players this year, Alabama got them. So they didn't get a lot of in-state guys. Auburn didn't. And they just don't have the program name, man. They don't have the built repertoire to go to California and fly in at Mater D and pick up a number one corner. They just don't. Their brand is not that big. Thanks, Snake, some guys from Georgia. They're Florida. They got some guys up on at like St. John's Bosco or something because I think Dirk can coach there or something in high school or something. So they got some connections there. So if Auburn has been basing, here's the question. If Auburn's been basing their high-quality top 10 classes for the most part of the past years there, not all the players, of course, but a lot of them, just because they try to win the in-state, and sometimes they get pretty close. And long as Saban was at Bama, he usually won the in-state, sometimes not. Because Alabama's brand lets them carry you out deep into Texas and California, big markets, because their brand, because they've been just the tradition there winning since. I mean, they were playing Rose Bowls in the 20s, so people know that brand from the 1920s. It's a recognizable logo, the A. So if Auburn's going to depend on in-state guys to keep them in the top 10 for recruiting, and NILs does not go through here, and if kids start moving out of state to go get paid over the next 5 years, now it's not going to affect your smaller schools. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we're losing all our players, but I'm saying those 6 or 7A schools have some 5-star guys. Now, Alvin was a 4-star, 5-star guy. He played at 1A Elba. There's still those guys there. I didn't say everybody, but a lot of them that play at Auburn High School are Benjamin Russell, like we're Cedric Morgan, the number one wide receiver, went to Bama. Or T.O. played there, Terrell Owens. So if Auburn has based herself kind of on that, and those players are not here, if say 5 or 6 of them move out of state, what's it going to do to them? How's it going to affect Troy, Jacksonville State, South Alabama? How's it going to affect those colleges? UAB? It's going to hurt them, man, because they like to keep hometown guys, in. So then you're talking about bringing in a guy from out of state. Well, that's out of state tuition. They're talking about travel. I ain't coming over there. I mean, it's going to cost mom and daddy, my uncle. They're coming to all my games, and it's going to cost, so much a week. I want them at all my games. The only way I'm coming over there. Okay, I guess we'll try to get your parents here. There's more money. I'm just saying we've got behind, and there's a trickle effect. I can see it, and I want you guys to see it too. This is just the locker room. We're just got dudes sitting around talking. Just talking ball. It leads all the way from having only to have 10 recruits. Why? Because some of this talent starting, if they're leaving out, the state don't have as many. It's not going to get better if they can go get paid over the lines. And then we're not going to get a lottery, and those things all start connecting all the way down the line. I can see it. I can really see it. Carrollton had a better facilities than University of WG than the U of, I don't know what WG is. But yeah, I mean, like those type of places. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's going to put us all in a bad spot. So covering high school football is slowly, and it's going to happen so slow over time. I can see it because I've been doing this for a while. I can see. And over time, it'll slowly happen to where you just won't see it. West Georgia. So Carrollton has better facilities than the University of West Georgia. See, it's not going to get no better over here. You know what little small rural 1A schools, 1 or 2A schools in Georgia they're as big as big 3A and 4A schools here. So 1 and 2A football here in Alabama, there's nothing in existence in Georgia like that. Not even relevantly close. We got a school here in the county that may only have 200 kids in the school. In the school. 200, 250. There's classes at Carrollton that's probably got 200 kids in the senior class. These schools have high schools, 10, 11, 12th grade, have 5, 6, 7,000 kids in them. Look up Duncanville High School out where Keelan Russell played out in Texas. Go to South Lake Carroll where Greg McElroy played out there in Texas. Just go look up those. You think Georgia's big? Go look up them big high schools out there. They have like districts. They'll have it so big, they'll have them cut into 4 districts. Like Keelan at Duncanville is the middle school they come from is like District 3 of Region 1. So I started getting into all that, and it's like, here's Region 1. There's 4 districts in the region, and each of those middle schools will have like 3,000 kids in a middle school. It's crazy. High school football is way big money, not in Alabama, because we're always freaking last. We vote on things last. We got people in there that have no dream, no vision to do anything any better than what they're doing because it's comfortable and they're just being lazy. And it's what's easy. Because it's easy to do nothing. I want some young guys in there, our age, 50-something. Maybe coaches, that'd be great. Or some media people that really works media, has own media companies and knows how media stuff works. That's actually maybe picked up a camera and took a freaking picture at a football game to be over the commission to tell people who can and can't take videos at a game. Not somebody that ain't picked up a camera since you put it in a machine and put it down in there, and there's a bird picked out the picture on this last time when they took a picture. I want more. I want better for my state. We're so far behind. God bless you, coaches. Yeah, man, y'all deal with way more than a lot of people know. You're being a dad, an uncle, a big brother to these players are coming in your locker room and you're dealing with them all day at school, then after school. And I've been around it. I've coached them on a smaller level. So God bless their coaches before the season gets started. Y'all pray for them and the players of the state and stuff. And they deal with a lot and they don't make hardly crap. And they're dealing with a lot of stuff these kids are going through, especially inner city stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. And sometimes their coach is the only guy that may even listen to them. May not have nobody at home. Mom works 2 jobs. Dad's moved off. Maybe he's working out of town. And, we got to do better. That's where all this started. Do better. Missouri, better recruiting. Come on. 80th. Auburn, 70. Got 10 players. SEC's got to be strong. And we do that by building strong high school. I'm about finding out where the root of the problem comes from. I just don't want to put a piece of spray seal on there and just take that rubber piece and just slam it on the side of the thing. I want to take all the water out of it. We're going to grind down that hole. We're going to rebuild the whole area right there where the hole was. Dadgummit. Let's fix the whole thing. Let's do it right. And what can I do about it? I've tried to do my part for 6 years now and doing this what I'm doing. Saying kids' names out here. Tagging this show and on AHSA radios or whatever. And we got a lot of great people, so many great people behind the scenes that are working their tails off. But some of those ones up on the higher spots, kind of catch you guys back Thursday night, okay? Thank you all for coming by and hanging out. Do appreciate it. So feed went off. Okay. All right. We'll catch you guys later. Y'all have a great day and see you back Thursday, okay? All right.